Hello and welcome back. Today I'll be covering one tip for every map in Stalker Anomaly. Some facts are mostly trivial, but some can actually help your gameplay. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe for future content. I also stream Stalker over on Twitch, so come check me out when I'm live there. Link is in the description. Starting at the bottom is Great Swamps. The church to the southeast can be climbed. At the top, you'll find multiple metal boxes which you can open for some loose loot. Speaking of loose loot, Cordon has a lot just lying around the rookie village. If you take your time at the start of a loner run, you can get yourself some good starting items. The most interesting fact I can think of for Darkscape is the fact that it's right next to Cordon, which is infinitely more interesting. I guess there is a box pyramid which you can blow up, but at the end of the day, it is still Darkscape. Agroprom has a mutant museum in the military base filled with multiple taxidermied mutants. Luckily, this place is in control of military stalkers and not freedomers. Underneath Agroprom is the Agroprom Underground, which houses s.t.a.l.k.e.r's hidden base, which contains the documents for the main story quest. Also in that room is multiple loose loot spawns and metal cases. Moving to garbage now, the 3 garbage mounds don't have proper nav meshes. This means that AI can't pathfind to you if you stand on top of them. This can be a bit cheesy, but can be good to use when you're being mauled to death by pack-a-balls. I can't think of anything too interesting for Dark Valley, so I guess my tip is to avoid the invisible psi field on top of this hill near the bandit base, as it can kill you very quickly. X18 below Darkscape is one of the most annoying labs in the game due to the millions of poltergeists and infinite objects being thrown at you. The only good part is the last room with the documents. If you turn left at the entrance instead of going right, you will go into a corridor which has lots of loose loot at the end. Yantar is home of the miracle machine. The compound has a main entrance, but did you know if you hop over the wall here, you can enter the compound a lot closer to the underground entrance. Another fun lab due to the large amount of snorks is the miracle machine. But one of the hardest parts of this lab is the bureau at the end. An easy way you can kill him is by placing an IED at the stairs where the bureau spawns. Although be careful not to peek it, as the bureau will happily use your trap against you. Fortunately I didn't hear the explosion because my sound is off. Rostok is one of my favourite places as it is the centre of the zone, and one of the most common places that I set up a base. One of the most useful tips in this video is probably here. This window at the entrance to Rostok can be jumped through if you low crouch. It saves you from going the long way around to see the trader. I do this every time I'm in Rostok as it is so much more convenient. Opposite to Rostok is wild territory. The only reason why I go to this place is to farm mercenaries. There are 2 main places they could be. The first is a sniper nest right at the start. You can easily take them out by looking under the truck. Once you have done that, navigate to here, climb up the ladder, and quickly run across the pipe till you get onto this roof. Then you can pick off the remaining mercenaries. I highly recommend using a gun with a scope while doing this as it will make your life a lot easier. This is more of a general tip, but especially applies to truck cemetery. Always carry antibiotics. If you don't know, antibiotics can be bought quite cheaply from medic traders and will allow you to skip an emission. Truck cemetery has almost no cover, guaranteeing death if an emission happens in most places. Therefore, antibiotics are a necessity. The administration building opposite the mercenary base in Dead City is relatively safe. Most AI cannot navigate into it, although don't totally let your guard down as there's still a small chance that one slips in. Another place I go to farm stalkers is Army Warehouse. If you are enemies with freedomers, or just hate freedomers, their base can be very easy to take out as there's only one way in and out of the base, over a very exposed bridge. You can also find mercenaries at the Dead City checkpoint which can be farmed from afar. This is a great way to get NATO gear. In Limansk, there's a house with a basement about halfway through which has multiple metal boxes with loot inside. The stone bath anomaly in Jupiter can spawn some decent artifacts, but normally requires doing parkour or wading through anomaly-filled water. But if you go up the way a bit and walk along this wall, you can easily get to where the artifacts spawn without the risk. Another snork-filled place is Jupiter Underground. During the main story quest where you have to go through here, on the way to get documents, there's a hole in the wall that you can squeeze into. Once inside, you can come to the realization that you're now soft-locked and have to reload the last save. I frequently get asked the question of where can I farm ISG, as ISG have some of the most sought after gear in the game. ISG don't have a base to raid, but I do recommend certain spots in Zaton. These places include the place above the Bloodsucker lair, the camp next to the Iron Forest anomaly, and the factory on top of the hill. These aren't guaranteed spawns, but I have seen ISG there. Radar is notoriously dangerous due to there being multiple monolith soldiers and high radiation. If you need a safe place to stay, then you can head up the ladder here and open the door. Inside is a cozy little base which even includes a bed. Just ignore the spider webs and dust. To disable the brain Scorcher, you'll need to visit Lab X19. Going through this lab will use up all your resources killing monolith soldiers. However, there is a room behind a door which can only be opened when the brain Scorcher is still active. In this room is multiple loose loot items including meds and ammo. Red Forest is a location of pure suffering, so it's nice to break it up with a little bit of fun. Near the bridge to Limansk is a tunnel which contains multiple red barrels which are conveniently lined up to create a chained explosion. Just make sure you are standing at a safe distance. When I need expert tools, I always go to Outskirts, but what is also interesting about Outskirts is the mercenary base in the south. What is special about these mercenaries is they're friendly towards loners. Although be warned that this doesn't mean that every merc in Outskirts won't shoot you. The lab below Outskirts is one of the easiest labs in the game. The scariest part is the crying woman or baby that can be heard near this door. But if you open the door, the crying will stop, and there's even some loose loot in the room. A quick tip for Pripyat is to go up the stairs instead of going down them when you enter them from Outskirts, as there is usually a pack of mutants waiting for you which can be killed easily from the vantage point. In the deserted hospital, stalkers can spawn on top of the ceiling, so make sure to look up. The generators are more interesting. There's a whole monolith wall lab underneath which is not used at all in Anomaly. I'm sure someone can tell me what this place was originally meant for in the comments. CNPP is mainly just barren open land, so the most interesting thing I could find was this ring of campfires. Lastly is a Sarcophagus. In Anomaly, the Wish Granter provides you with 5 choices. The first one will make your game crash, hence making the zone disappear. The second one does nothing. Third will despawn every NPC in the game, and fourth will give you every item in the game, which causes your game to crash. Choosing immortality will teleport you to the Great Swamps and make you immortal. In future versions of Gamma, this will also make you unable to move. So that was one tip for every location in Stalker Anomaly. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe for future content. Also come past to ask me any questions when I'm live on Twitch. Link is in the description. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.